Welcome to Professor Brown Breaks It Down. Hello and welcome in. I am excited to be here today to talk about a couple different things. We are going to give it a few minutes for people to join in the chat and to join into the live, and then I will get started. Today's topic is the evolution of spirituality from ancient omens to modern mysticism, and I am very, very excited to bring this to you today. So welcome in and looking forward to it. We will give it just a few minutes for people to arrive, and then I'm going to dive right in. I have a pretty good lesson planned out today. Hey Meta, what's up? What's up? I just started. I don't know where everybody is. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to keep going. I have a pretty good lesson. I'm pretty stoked about this lesson. It's a little bit longer than usual, I will say, but I really wanted to talk about the history. I titled this The Evolution of Spirituality from Ancient Omens to Modern Mysticism, and I cover a lot of stuff, which is really, I think, really cool. Like the history of how has spirituality affected our society, our humanity, who are some of the big players in history, all that sort of stuff, and not just American history, but overall human history. So I'm very excited. I really enjoyed making this lesson. Yes, thank you, Mickey. Yes, smash that like button. And this will be available on replay later if you can't stay for the whole thing. The way I'm going to do this, as usual, hey Wade, I'm glad you caught me. The way I'm going to do this, as usual, is I have prepared a lesson. So I'm going to read the lesson out. During the lesson, if there's a question that occurs to you, make sure you write it down, because I do want to get to your questions. But when I'm reading this, I have to kind of pay attention to this. Hey, Holly, welcome in. Christina, hello. Danielle, hello. I don't want to lose my focus, so write your question down. I want to make sure we get to it, but it will be after I do the whole lesson. And again, like I said, this whole thing will be on replay. Share this out with people, because I think there's going to be some really good information in here for people. So just tell them to fast forward for the first few minutes to get through this. I had a great live this morning, right, Meta? It was a great live this morning. Had a lot of really good readings, a lot of good connections. I did some writing this afternoon. I finished up this lesson. I straightened up the downstairs, and I was going to go lay out outside, like get some sun. And as soon as I walked out, it got all cloudy. So I think I'm going to be doing something else, but that's okay. Got my photo of the parade of the planets this morning. Oh, how very cool. How very cool. Big girl job. Yep, I get it. I get it. Hello, Don. Good to see you. I'm excited that you're here for today's Professor Brown. So I've gotten into watching this show called The Great on Hulu. It's really good. It would make me uncomfortable to watch it with my children, even though they are adults. Just saying. But it is a very good show, and I've been watching it. So that's probably what I'll do. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on today's lesson. As people join us, just let them know that they can catch this on the replay if they want to hear the whole thing. Remember to write your questions down. Hold them till the end. We will get to them, okay? So today's lesson is called The Evolution of Spirituality from Ancient Omens to Modern Mysticism. I thought it might be fun to talk about and a good time to look back on spirituality, where it's been in the past, how it's affected human history, some of the big players, how it's played out, all that sort of stuff. It's good to have perspective, right? Like this feels like a novel movement. It feels like a big new movement, but it's been around a long time. It's just gaining momentum for some reason now. Well, we know why, but it's gaining momentum now, where before it didn't have that same momentum. So good afternoon, everyone. Today we are embarking on an exciting journey through the history of spirituality. We will travel back in time to ancient civilizations, traverse through early spiritual movements in America, and end in the present day. We'll explore how key figures like Buddha, Krishna, Carl Jung, Jane Roberts, and even Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla have shaped our understanding of the spiritual realm. This journey will reveal the continuous thread of human connection to something greater than ourselves. So we're going to start with ancient spiritual practices, starting off with oracles and omens, okay? Let's begin our journey in the ancient world. Many civilizations relied heavily on spiritual guidance to navigate their lives and make crucial decisions. Ancient Greece and oracles. One of the most famous examples is the Oracle of Delphi. Leaders from all over Greece, including Alexander the Great, would consult Pythia, 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 the priestess of Apollo, and other oracles for guidance. These oracles were believed to be the mouthpiece of the gods, delivering messages that could shape the future of entire nations. And just to mention, they were usually feminine. They were usually female. Just saying. This is clear in our ancient history because in 331 BCE, before his campaign against Persia, Alexander visited the Oracle of Siwa in the Libyan desert. This oracle was dedicated to Zeus Ammon, a deity revered by both Greeks and Egyptians. The journey to Siwa was arduous, involving a perilous trek through the desert, but Alexander's determination underscored his reliance on spiritual validation. Upon his arrival, the priest purportedly addressed him as the son of Zeus, a proclamation that profoundly influenced Alexander's self-perception and his portrayal to his followers and subjects. Just as a side note, I've made a video about this before, but when Alexander went to see the oracle and was told he was the son of Zeus, this was confirmation from something his mother had already told him. This is why it had such a big impact on him. He could not figure out how it could be true that his mother could tell him something, then this oracle could tell him the same thing in very disconnected spaces. This built his self-confidence up before he went into this campaign and kicked off what led him to become known as Alexander the Great. And, there's a lot of law of attraction, manifestation, and all that stuff sort of wrapped up in there. If you think about it, he believed in himself so strongly that it propelled him forward. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. The consultation with the oracle at Siwa significantly bolstered Alexander's resolve and legitimacy as a ruler. By receiving the oracle's affirmation of his divine heritage, Alexander strengthened his claim to divine favor, an essential element in consolidating his power and unifying his empire. This divine endorsement not only reinforced his authority among his troops, but also played a crucial role in his subsequent campaigns. The belief in his divine backing emboldened Alexander, propelling him forward in his quest to create one of the largest empires the ancient world had ever seen. Thus, the oracle at Siwa stands as a pivotal moment in Alexander's life, intertwining his military ambitions with his profound spiritual beliefs. So there's something called augury that took place in Rome. So now we're going to go from there. Hey, Randy, what's up? We're going to go from Greece, ancient Greece and Egypt, we're going to move forward in time to Rome, to augury. In Rome, augurs interpreted the will of gods by studying the flight patterns of birds. This practice, known as augury, was an integral to decision-making process, including the founding of cities and battles. One of the most notable instances where augury played a crucial role in Roman history was during the founding of Rome itself. According to legend, Romulus and Remus, the twin brothers and founders of Rome, sought divine approval to determine who would rule the new city. They turned to augury, the practice of interpreting the will of the gods by observing the behavior of birds. Romulus chose the Palatine Hill, while Remus selected Aventine Hill. Remus reportedly saw 6 vultures first, but Romulus claimed to have seen 12. Thus, this dispute, resolved in favor of Romulus, not only led to his ascendancy as the first king of Rome, but also underlined the importance of augury in legitimizing leadership and decision-making in early Roman culture. Another significant moment influenced by augury occurred during the Second Punic War, particularly before the Battle of Lake Trasimene in 217 BCE. The Roman general Gaius Flaminius, eager to engage the Carthaginian forces led by Hannibal, disregarded the unfavorable omens reported by the augurs. Despite witnessing the sacrificial animals' refusal to cooperate, considered a bad omen, Flaminius proceeded with his campaign. The result was disastrous. Hannibal's forces ambushed and decisively defeated the Roman army, leading to significant Roman losses. This event underscored the deep belief in augury within Roman society and military practices, illustrating how ignoring these divine signs could lead to catastrophic consequences, thereby reinforcing the augur's influence in shaping historical outcomes. So we've already done Greece and Egypt, moving along to Rome. We're going to jump forward now to Eastern spirituality with Buddha and Krishna, because I feel like it's important to include multiple cultures in this, right? Hey, Chrissy, welcome in. You're good. I'm doing a history of spirituality today, and we're up to Buddha, right? Buddha's name was, I'm gonna say this wrong, I'm sure, because I struggle with names. It's Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha Gautama. No disrespect intended. It's just hard for me to say those words. Hey, George, how's it going? So Buddha. Moving east, we encounter Siddhartha Gautama, better known as Buddha, who lived in the 5th century BCE. His quest for enlightenment led him to profound insights about suffering, compassion, and the nature of reality. One of the most profound impacts of Gautama's teachings on human history is reflected in the spread of Buddhism under Emperor Ashoka of the Maurya dynasty in the 3rd century BCE. After a particularly brutal campaign in Caligula, Ashoka experienced a deep personal transformation influenced by the teachings of Buddha. Embracing Buddhism, he renounced violence and adopted a policy of non-aggression and compassion. Ashoka's conversion led to the widespread promotion of Buddhist principles across his vast empire, which extended over much of the Indian subcontinent. He established stupas, inscribed edicts promoting moral and ethical behavior, and sent missionaries to distant lands such as Sri Lanka, Central Asia, and even the Mediterranean. Ashoka's embrace of Buddhism not only altered the course of his reign, but also facilitated the spread of Buddhist philosophy and ethics, profoundly shaping cultural and spiritual landscapes across Asia. Ashoka's endorsement and dissemination of Buddhist teachings had enduring effects on world history, influencing countless societies and culture. The spread of Buddhism encouraged the development of rich traditions of art, literature, and philosophy across Asia. It also fostered the growth of monastic communities and universities such as Nalanda, which became centers of learning and attracted scholars from various regions. The Buddhist emphasis on nonviolence, compassion, and mindfulness contributed to social and political reforms, promoting peace and understanding among diverse populations. The transmission of these teachings across cultures helped bridge gaps between East and West, laying the groundwork for a more interconnected and harmonious world. Thus, Gautama's teachings, as championed by Ashoka, have left an indelible mark on the historical and cultural development of humanity. Krishna. So we're going to talk about Krishna now. So we're moving along. We've done Buddhism. We're doing Krishna, which is Hinduism. And we're making our way towards America, slowly but surely. In Hinduism, Krishna, an incarnation of the god Vishnu, is a central figure. His teachings in the Bhagavad Gita emphasize the importance of duty, righteousness, and devotion. The teachings of Krishna, particularly those found in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm going to say that wrong every time, have profoundly influenced human history, especially within the Indian subcontinent and beyond. One significant impact occurred during the Indian independence movement in the 20th century. Gandhi, the leader of the movement, drew deeply from the Gita for guidance and inspiration. Gandhi's interpretation of Krishna's teachings on selfless action, duty, and non-attachment to results profoundly shaped his philosophy of nonviolent resistance. This approach not only galvanized the Indian population against British colonial rule, but also inspired global movements for civil rights and social justice, including those led by figures such as Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. Yes, I love it too. I've read it too, and I really do love it. There's several impactful parts in there, but there are some that stick out more than others, and I really do love it. Beyond political movements, Krishna's teachings have had a lasting cultural and spiritual impact. The principles expounded in the Gita, such as the importance of righteousness, devotion, and the pursuit of knowledge, have permeated various aspects of Hindu life and throughout. These teachings have inspired countless individuals and traditions, fostering a rich heritage of devotional practices, philosophical inquiry, and artistic expression. The influence of Krishna's message is evident in classical Indian music, dance, literature, and temple architecture, which continue to thrive and evolve. Moreover, the global spread of these teachings through movements like International Society for Krishna Consciousness has brought Krishna's wisdom to a wider audience, promoting a deeper understanding of Hindu philosophy and fostering intercultural dialogue. Through these multifaceted influences, Krishna's teachings have left an enduring mark on the spiritual and cultural face of humanity. Yes, Ayurvedic medicine also comes from that tradition. I love it. So now we're going to start talking about America. We've gotten through a lot of history. We talked about Greece, Egypt, the oracles, all that sort of stuff, and kind of seeing how spirituality permeates different areas of human life. You know, if even Alexander the Great is seeking out an oracle, it's somewhere. You know, it means something. It has some sort of meaning. This is not a new phenomenon, as much as people want to say it is and discredit it by saying so. This has been around for a long time. It's just gaining momentum right now, right? So that's where we are. So we're going to talk about now the spread of spiritual ideas and the early spiritual movements in America. Yes, love, compassion, and respect is the world I'm creating right now. I love that, Randy. So we're going to fast forward to the 19th century in America, a period of great spiritual exploration and innovation, and where we first start to see the rise of two key spiritual movements in the brand new Americas, right? So keep in mind, this is 1800s, and it hasn't been America for all that long, right? The rise of transcendentalism in 19th century America was fueled by a confluence of intellectual, cultural, and social factors. Rooted in the philosophical ideas of Immanuel Kant and the Romanticism movement, transcendentalism emerged as a reaction against the prevailing rationalism of the Enlightenment and the rigidity of the traditional Puritanism. Influential figures such as Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau championed the movement, advocating for inherent goodness of people and nature, the importance of self-reliance, and the pursuit of truth through personal intuition and spiritual experiences. The rapid industrialization and urbanization of America during this period also contributed to a sense of alienation among individuals who sought solace in nature and introspection. This cultural shift towards valuing individualism and a deeper connection with the natural world created fertile ground for transcendentalist thought to flourish. Sound familiar? Just saying. Spiritualism's rise in 19th century America was similarly influenced by societal changes and a growing interest in exploring the metaphysical realm. The movement began in earnest in 1848 with mysterious rappings heard by the Fox sisters in Hydesville, New York, which they claimed were communications from spirits. This event sparked widespread curiosity and a burgeoning interest in the possibility of contacting the deceased. The rapid advancements in communication technologies, such as the telegraph, paralleled the belief that the living could establish connections with the spirit world. The period's high mortality rates, particularly due to the Civil War, led many to seek comfort and reassurance through spiritualist practices such as seances and mediumship. Prominent figures like Andrew Jackson Davis and Emma Hardline Britten helped popularize spiritualism, advocating for its principles of eternal life and the progressive evolution of the soul. Both transcendentalism and spiritualism reflected a broader cultural shift towards seeking personal spiritual experiences and understanding life's mysteries beyond the confines of Orthodox religion. One notable instance where a prominent figure in American history relied on spiritualism to make crucial decisions is President Abraham Lincoln during the tumultuous years of the Civil War. Did you know that? Lincoln, deeply affected by the death of his son Willie in 1862, found solace in the spiritualist movement, which was gaining popularity at the time. His wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, a devout believer in spiritualism, frequently held seances in the White House in an attempt to communicate with their deceased son. It is reported that Lincoln, though initially skeptical, participated in these seances and sought guidance from mediums. The spiritual sessions provided him not only personal comfort, but also a form of counsel during one of the most challenging periods in American history. These interactions are believed to have influenced his resolve and decisions regarding the war and the abolition of slavery. Lincoln's engagement with spiritualism during the Civil War reflects the broader societal shift towards seeking spiritual guidance in time of crisis. The immense pressure of leading a divided nation and the personal grief he experienced pushed Lincoln towards exploring unconventional means for support and clarity. While it is difficult to pinpoint specific policy decisions directly resulting from these seances, the spiritual reassurance he received likely bolstered his determination and provided a sense of direction. This period underscores how spiritual practices, particularly during times of national strife and personal loss, can play a pivotal role in shaping the decisions and fortitude of leaders, influencing the course of history. So I have a couple of spiritual leaders. I have a couple people I want to talk about, and then we're almost done, but we're getting there. Thanks for hanging in. I'm excited about this lesson, actually. I really enjoy this one. So a couple of different influential spiritual leaders. I didn't write down a ton because there's so many, but these are the ones that have influenced me the most. Carl Jung is a Swiss psychiatrist. He was a Swiss psychiatrist. He made significant contributions to the understanding of the human psyche. His concepts of the collective unconscious and archetypes revealed a deep spiritual dimension to psychology. Jung believed that spirituality was essential for personal growth and that exploring our inner worlds could lead to profound self-discovery. Jane Roberts and Seth. In the 1960s and 70s, Jane Roberts became a notable figure in the New Age movement through her channeled messages from an entity named Seth. Seth's teachings, compiled in books like Seth Speaks, offered insights into the nature of reality, reincarnation, and the power of thought, greatly influencing modern spiritual thought. Jane Roberts' book, The Unknown Universe, it is enormous. I got it in 2 volumes and it was still this thick each volume. There is so much information in there that it was continuously blowing my mind. If you're looking for a lot of information about the universe, how the universe itself works, that sort of thing, and you're open to this, definitely check out Jane Roberts and The Unknown Universe. That's the name of the book. Hello from Sweden. Welcome in. Ram Dass. So Ram Dass was born Richard Alpert and was a prominent spiritual teacher who blended Eastern spirituality with Western psychology. His seminal work, Be Here Now, encouraged readers to embrace mindfulness and the present moment, fostering a greater connection to the divine within. Esther Hicks and Abraham. Esther Hicks channels a group of entities known as Abraham. Their teachings focus on the law of attraction, emphasizing the power of positive thinking and intention in manifesting one's desires. This modern take on spirituality has attracted a global following and has influenced many self-help and motivational moments. So I want to talk about 2 very special people that have really influenced me. I am a scientist by nature. I was a nurse for 25 years, worked at a medical school, all that stuff. Hello from New York. So science is important to me. I don't think science should be disregarded ever. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like science is an incomplete story, that we need to incorporate both sides of the coin. So the 2 people who really, yeah, I got you, Brooke. That's kind of the feeling. I got you. The 2 people I want to talk about are Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla, because although very rooted in science, they had a very spiritual or energetic component to them, and I want to share that with you. For me personally, Albert Einstein is my personal hero. So Albert Einstein, though primarily known for his contributions to physics, often expressed a sense of wonder about the universe that bordered on spiritual. He famously stated, quote, "The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science," end quote. His views on spirituality and energy were deeply intertwined with his scientific insights and his sense of wonder about the universe. He famously expressed a reverence for the mysterious and the profound interconnectedness of all things, which he often described as a cosmic religious feeling. Einstein believed that the laws of physics revealed a harmonious order in the universe, which he equated with a form of spiritual understanding. His equation, E equals mc squared, encapsulating the interchangeability of mass and energy, exemplified his belief in the profound and interconnectedness of the physical world. For Einstein, this deep unity was not just a scientific fact, but also a spiritual insight that underscored the sublime and intricate tapestry of existence. Einstein's outlook on spirituality and energy has significantly influenced modern American life, particularly in how we perceive and utilize energy. His theories laid the groundwork for the development of nuclear energy, which has a profound impact on both technology and geopolitics. The advent of nuclear power has provided a significant source of energy, influencing everything from electrical generation to medical treatments. Moreover, Einstein's broader philosophical views on interconnectedness and the unity of all phenomena have inspired movements towards environmental sustainability and holistic science, promoting a deeper understanding of our place within the natural world. This perspective encourages a sense of responsibility and interconnectedness that has shaped politics and cultural attitudes toward energy use and environmental stewardship in contemporary America. All right, so Nikola Tesla was the brilliant inventor, also had a mystical side. He believed in the interconnectedness of all things and often spoke of tapping into the deeper, unseen forces of the universe. For example, Tesla's 369 theory is a fascinating concept that highlights his belief in the significance of certain numbers and their connection to the universe's fundamental structure. Tesla famously stated, quote, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe," end quote. He believed that these numbers were central to understanding the energy patterns and vibrations that underpin reality. Tesla's obsession with these numbers was rooted in his observations of numerical patterns in nature and his own inventions. For instance, he often performed actions in multiples of 3, such as walking around a building 3 times before entering it. This theory reflects his broader vision of a universe governed by mathematical precision and resonant frequencies, suggesting that a 3, 6, and 9 are somehow fundamental to the structure of energy and matter. In modern context, Tesla's 369 theory can be seen as a precursor to contemporary understandings of energy and resonance. While the theory itself remains more mystical and less scientifically substantiated, it has inspired various fields from quantum physics to spiritual practices. For example, the idea that certain frequencies and vibrations can influence physical and mental states has led to practices like sound therapy and energy healing, which aim to harmonize the body's energy fields. Additionally, Tesla's emphasis on the interconnectedness of numbers and energy aligns with modern holistic approaches to health and well-being, encouraging a view of humans as part of a larger interconnected system of energy. This perspective has shaped various aspects of modern life, promoting practices and technologies that seek to harness and balance energy in ways that resonate with Tesla's visionary ideas. Today's spirituality is more diverse and accessible than ever. The internet and social media have made it possible for people to explore various spiritual paths and practices from the comfort of their homes. Meditation apps, online workshops, and virtual communities have, I don't know, my autocorrect must have autocorrected that word because I don't know what that word is. Meditation apps, online workshops, and virtual communities have made spiritual learning and practice much more mainstream, leading modern spirituality to increasingly move into the mainstream in America and worldwide, reflecting a shift from traditional religious practices to more individualized and eclectic forms of spiritual expression. Blah, 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 blah. This trend has been driven by several factors, including the rise of the internet and social media, which have made information and communities accessible to a broader audience. Practices such as yoga, meditation, mindfulness, and holistic wellness have become integral parts of daily life for many people, transcending their spiritual origins to enter the realms of health and self-care. The popularity of spiritual self-help books, podcasts, and online courses further underscores this shift as individuals seek personal growth, mental well-being, and a deeper connection with themselves and the universe. Celebrities and influencers openly discussing their spiritual practices have also played a significant role in normalizing and popularizing modern spirituality. The mainstreaming of modern spirituality has had a profound impact on various aspects of society, promoting greater acceptance of diverse beliefs and practices. In the workplace, for instance, mindfulness and meditation programs are now common, aimed at reducing stress and increasing productivity. The healthcare industry has seen an integration of holistic approaches, acknowledging the benefits of treating the mind, body, and spirit as interconnected. Additionally, the spiritual awakening has fostered a sense of global interconnectedness, with individuals from different cultural backgrounds sharing and blending spiritual practices. The focus on inner peace, personal empowerment, and universal compassion promoted by modern spirituality has also contributed to social movements advocating for mental health awareness, environmental sustainability, and social justice, reflecting a collective shift towards a more conscious, empathetic society. Modern spirituality often blends ancient wisdom with contemporary insights. Practices like yoga, meditation, and mindfulness draw from centuries-old traditions while being adapted to fit modern lifestyles. Books, podcasts, and online courses on spirituality abound, reflecting a continuing desire to understand the deeper aspects of existence. So that is the history of spirituality in a nutshell. I did not barely even scratch the surface. There is so much. I did not even touch on the rise of Catholicism. I didn't touch on the Salem witch trials, and that's just America's history. I didn't touch on a lot of stuff, but this was just a very quick skip through time to show you that spirituality has been important for a long time. And while many people like to point at the movement now and say there's no legitimacy because it's so new, I find that to be untrue because it's laced throughout our history. It's everywhere, and you can call it whatever you want, but it's been helpful for many, many lifetimes, many years. All right, so are there any questions that I can answer for you? I see all these TikTok peeps in here. It's so good to see you. Yes, it is way older than most people acknowledge, 100%. So if you have any questions about anything I have just talked about, drop those in the chat now. Move this out of the way. Otherwise, if there are no questions, yes, what other people think is none of my business. I couldn't agree more, Randy. You astral travel in your sleep. That's great, Wade. Astral traveling is something I would love to do at one day when I'm ready. For whatever reason, it's not something I'm aware that I do right now. You know, I think we all leave our bodies when we sleep. I'm just not aware of it. I'm not consciously aware of it, but I'm looking forward to it one day. All right. Well, you guys, it was a joy to be here. If you have a subject on spirituality you would like Professor Brown to cover, you can email it to me. My email is in the notes for today's show. You can always send that to me. Ooh, that's kind of cool, Wade. Send me that. I will write a... No, I don't know if I believe we're in spiritual warfare. I hear people talking about that, but the feeling I get is... While there's always contrast everywhere, I don't feel like we are powerless. I don't feel like people are or some entities are fighting over us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we are sovereign beings and we choose what we do with our energy. So if I believe in spiritual warfare is a weird question because I don't necessarily think like there's entities fighting over us. I believe that we have to learn to balance the two ends of duality. And I believe that it can feel like evil when something bad is happening to us. But again, I don't necessarily believe, I don't believe that we're powerless. So in order for us to be victims of a warfare, we would have to be powerless. And so I don't necessarily know if I go with that. But again, I don't know a lot about it. To be truth, I don't know a lot about it. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate you. Thank you, Randy. The birds in southern Ontario are sending us messages. I don't doubt it. I think nature sends us messages all the time, quite frankly. Yes, truth and love go hand in hand. Absolutely. I do feel like nature is constantly sending us messages. We just don't allow it. Yeah, Christy, I know what you're talking about. I don't know that I buy that. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's nothing to be gained from that I can understand unless there's some process that's happening beyond my understanding, which is entirely possible. But to prevent us as a race from ascending, to me, seems counterproductive in many, many ways. And I can't see any kind of logic in that at all. Like, I just don't see it. Not that you know, it's always possible. I think anything is possible. I just don't see it, and I can't think of what the benefit would be to that. Unless you want to go the route of they feed on our fear. And again, I don't necessarily think I buy that. Nothing in nature that I've ever seen works that way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. So, but I don't know everything. You know, I'm the first to admit I don't know everything, and there's a lot I don't know. So I'm always open to new information if it ever wants to be sent to me. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I will be back at 7 tonight, Central Standard Time. That is a members only live here. You must be a paying member to get into the 7 o'clock tonight class. That is for the shadow work class. Oh, thank you, Mystic Auto Shaman. I appreciate it. Light winds. We are doing our shadow work exercises tonight. If you are part of that group and have not yet done your homework, it is posted in the Facebook group. Make sure you go do that, and I will see you tonight at 7. Meta, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Chrissy, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you, friend, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Love your face. Love your face.